Good evening, one and all. We welcome you all to the International Webinar Series on Holistic Health, Well-being, and Sustainable Development 2015, commemorating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, nation celebrating 77 years of independence and United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 2015 to 2030 and Viksit Bharat at 2047. As part of awareness and campaigns in collaboration with Sri Holistic Health Foundation India and Sri Research Institute Center for Art Sciences and Wellbeing. Before we start our sessions, let's take the blessings of Almighty.
कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तु ते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तु ते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः
With the blessings of Almighty, we shall continue with today's commemorations. Today is commemorated as Global Movie Day in US, which is celebrated on second Saturday of February every year to coincide with the Oscar season. This year, This year it takes place on February 8th. This day was established to celebrate the power of movies and their capacity to inspire and move people and transform lives. Global Movie Day offers people an opportunity to celebrate movies and catch on the latest movie releases set in the thick of Oscar season. The day is a perfect for movie buffs to come together to watch and discuss the latest movies. This allows them to bond over their shared love of good stories told on celluloid. So, Global Movie Day is celebrated on the second Saturday of February every year. This day was established by the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, so movie lovers around the world could celebrate their favorite movies. The Academy also wanted to offer people the opportunity to take one day to come together and discuss movies with the Academy as well as other movie buffs. The special day set aside for movies gives people an opportunity to revisit classics, rewatch their favorite films, and catch up on their latest releases. Setting the day in the midst of Oscar season was deliberately done to encourage people to participate in the excitement surrounding the Oscar nominated films, as well as the best releases of the year. Movies are a visual art form that uses a series of live action photographs. These are then presented in sequence at the rate of 24 frames per second. Because of a phenomenon called a persistent of visions, the pictures appear to move to the human eye. The movie industry in the US, commonly referred to as Hollywood, has an enormous influence on the film industry. American cinema has been historically a leading force in the industry and is considered to be the oldest film industry in the West. Today, films use sophisticated cameras as well as advanced computer graphics and software to tell stories in interesting ways. As people consume media via different platforms, movies are being seen as yet another type of content, which is transforming the way producers and consumers look at storytelling. Today is also commemorated as Laugh and Get Rich Day in US, which is celebrated on every year on February 8th. So, Laugh and Get Rich Day is celebrated every year on February 8th. It is a day to laugh and to enjoy many benefits that laughter brings. The biggest benefit of laughter is that it improves our health. Laughing can elevate our mood, lower stress and blood pressure, and strengthen the immune system. In this way, laughter makes us rich because health is wealth after all. But laughter can also circulate to our financial gains by enriching our professional lives. Those who laugh often tend to be happier. Happy workers are more productive and are liked by their co-workers. So Laugh and Get Rich Day is a day that is shrouded in mystery. We don't know who or when it was created, and even the purpose of the celebrations is unknown. However, the general understanding is that it is a day that encourages people to laugh, to realize that if they are happy, we have all of riches we will never need. So therefore, on February 8th every year, people come together to share jokes, laugh, and spend quality time with each other. So, what most of us might not realize is that babies can laugh before they are even close to speaking. Infants as young as 17 days old can laugh way before they begin to make babbling sound. They laugh when they find something amusing or during playtime. That's how ingrained laughter is in us. In fact, a number of scientific studies show that during a 10-minute conversation, the average person will likely laugh anywhere from 5.5 to 5.8 times. Something else that science has taught us even in the act of smiling, regardless of whether genuine or not. Not considerably improve a person's mood so that if you are having a bad day and want to feel better, just crack a smile. Laughter has also inspired humans to create the genre of comedy, which is designed to bring us humor in the form of literature, films, and TV shows, jokes, and even music. They make us feel joy and inspire us to laugh, and that is why we tune into our favorite sitcoms or comedy movies when we are feeling down. So, Molasses Bar Day is also commemorated today on February 8th. If you have never tasted molasses, the molasses bar day is a perfect day to treat yourself. In this yummy dish, molasses, also known as black treacle in Britain, is essentially a thick sugary syrup made from sugarcane of sugar beets. Molasses contain large amounts of calcium, iron, and magnesium. Beet molasses is 50% sugar by weight, and if the manufacturer is feeling adventurous, sugar is sometimes extracted from the beet molasses through molasses desugarization. But for cooking, we mostly use cane molasses. Molasses is mainly used as a sugar substitute. The word honey translates to mel in Latin, which resulted in emergence of the word melaco in Portuguese. Finally, molasses derives from two former mentioned words. From Latin to the word molasses, there is a sugary tinge in each word. From as early as 1500s, molasses have been used as a sweetener for food. There are more variety of uses for it in cooking. Molasses are regularly used for making cookies, gingerbread, sauces, dark rye bread, beers, and molasses bars. In Middle Eastern culture, molasses is produced from dates, grapes, and pomegranates in baking and cooking. Cane molasses was hesitantly used. It was popular in America as early as 19th century, and it was plentiful and commonly used as a sweetener in foods and as an ingredient, so much so that George Washington published a molasses recipe. The harvesting of sugarcane and stripping of its leaves was the process of making molasses. People would extract its juice by crushing, cutting, or smashing the sugarcane. The juice is boiled to concentrate it and start the sugar crystallization process. This process is known to obtain the highest sugar content. The first syrup is usually referred to the cane syrup as in the southern states of United States and not molasses. The second boiling procedure consisting of extracting sugar, which results in a bitter taste. The third boiling of sugar syrup eats dark, viscous black strap molasses that is known for its robust flavor. Unlike highly refined sugars, molasses contain significant amounts of vitamin B6 and minerals such as calcium, magnesium, iron, and manganese. Having only a tablespoon can provide 20% of the recommended daily value of each of these nutrients. Today is also commemorated as National Boy Scout Day in US to honor those who are trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. Founded in 1910 by American WD Boys, the Boy Scouts of America has helped shape many of our nation's leaders, according to the legend. Boyce was lost off a foggy street in London when an unknown scout helped him by guiding him back to his hotel. when the boy refused a trip, explaining that he was only doing his duty as a scout. Boyce was inspired to bring the teachings of British Boy Scout Association back to US. So the Boy Scouts are based on the idea of doing good deeds, celebrate National Boy Scouts Day by helping someone in need, donating to a good cause, or simply committing a random act of kindness. Earn your own merit badge by learning a new skill in one of the merit badges categories. Take a look of the merit badge on the Boy Scouts of American site and choose an interacting or interesting badge. Coin collecting like similar. Then follow the requirements listed. You may not receive an actual badge, but you will have learned something new and probably had fun doing it. Camping is an important part of being a Boy Scout and a great way to celebrate National Boy Scouts Day. Camping helps develop self reliance and resourcefulness and promote feelings of wellness from being surrounded by nature. So gather the family or a few friends, load up the car or truck with your tents and sleeping bags and head to the nearest camping site. The purpose of Merit Badge program is to allow scouts some time for career exploration. Boy Scouts and badges which show by showing they have done or learned something in specific area of study. There are over 135 different badges that can be earned in the areas of sports, crafts, science, trades, business, and future careers. Today is also commemorated as National Iowa Day. This day recognizes the hockey state. The state is known for a fertile prairie, rolling hills, home to talented people, and creating nostalgic movie moments. From Mississippi River to a harvest in Plymouth, Harrison, and Fairmont countless, Iowa has contributed to the American history, beauty, and hospitality. The state was named after Lower Native Americans who populated the area when European settlement forced eastern tribes to settle in the western part of the country. Acquired as part of Louisiana Purchase, the Lower Territory settlement did not happen until 1830s. Today is also commemorated as National Kite Flying Day on February 8th in the US. Get to see and set to feel the wind in your face, the line in your hand, and the liberating feeling one gets when flying a kite. It's National Kite Flying Day. After all, kites have a lot to do with lift, thrust, drag, and wind pressure. So simply grab a kite and some string to get started, then find an open field, start running, and hope the best and pray for the wind. So buy the necessities, wooden sticks, paper, plastic or fabric or glue and string. Also get some funny decorations like glitter, ribbons and stickers. When the kite making is over, gather everyone outside and let their creations fly. So the longest kite is measured a whooping 3,394 feet. The fastest kite, a kite was recorded flying at a record of 120 mph. The longest kite trip a kite once flew for 180 hours straight. A Japanese kite marker reportedly flew 10,284 kites on a single line, the largest number recorded thus far. So for kids, flying a colorful decorative kite through the air is magical. It's also a great opportunity for you to teach them a little bit about science behind it all. Assuming, of course, though you had a good understanding yourself, we know it's cold out, so still head to your favorite kite flying area prepared with layers of sweaters, jackets, scarves, gloves, and hand warmers. Then it's a chocolate for everyone. Longing for a simple times, put down your phone, kite flying takes you back to another era. Today is also commemorated as Opera Day. which is celebrated every year on February 8th. While many of us would recognize an opera if we had one, we may not well be versed with the definitions and complexities of the musical genre. Briefly, an opera is a piece of performance art that combines music with words or dialogues to create a dramatic enactment of a story. An opera is a combination of acting, scenery, costumes, and dance. The term opera in Italian means work, and the next is called the libretto, which means the small book. Operas are further classified as opera seria, noble and serious, opera buffa, comedic, operetta, light opera, and semi opera, combining spoken dialogue with mass light sections. Opera was born out of classical music tradition in the West. It first started in Italy and then spread across Europe to France, Germany, Russia, and England. Opera was the first known to play its focus on the chorus by recreating dramas from ancient Greek. The first season of opera took place in Venice in 1637, becoming a popular art of entertainment ever since its inception. The opera art form has evolved and diverged in numerous ways throughout its history. For much of the 18th century, opera seria, with its elevated slide and virtuous performance, were best loved among the Italians. Yet, as with all artistic movements, there are few who wanted to innovate the existing art form. Mozart is well known for his comic operations, such as Marriage of Figaro, while Verdi is famous for his confident, patriotic operas. Wagner was one of the most influential opera composers, who dissolved the distinct recitatives and arias into endless melody and developed the idea of Gesamtwerk, complete artwork, where he synthesized different art forms into one. Composers in the 20th century continued to experiment with the art form and came up with innovative concepts such as atonality and dissonance. The modern era saw an explosion of musical theatre, the modern rendition of opera, while there are a number of key differences. Some musicals closely resemble opera, for example, Les Miserables, which has also been adapted into a movie. The genre has also influenced current entertainment with soap operas revolving around the personal dramas, just the way the original opera was intended. Today is also commemorated as President Day in Slovenia. It's President Day in Slovenia on February 8th. This day commemorates the death of Slovenian poet and the greatest Slovene classical author, Franz President, who died on February 8, 1849. President Day is one of the most widely celebrated Slovene holidays. On this day, all state and national galleries and museums offer free entry along with many other cultural events being observed. The day is happily observed not only in Slovenia but also other Slovene communities all around the world. Franz Prestrel was born on December 3rd, 1800, into a peasant family in Verba, Korenska. He was noted for his sonnets, and in 1844 he composed a poem, a toast, which is the seventh stanza in the Slovenian national anthem. During World War II, Slovene artists were subdued and they were forbidden from expressing themselves, while Slovenia stayed occupied. This anniversary of the president's death became a central marker for the recognition of Slovenian culture. At the end of the World War II, the day was proclaimed a cultural day in 1945, and it was previously a public day, but eventually it was declared a work-free holiday. So in 1991, the same year, the country acknowledged its independence. The declaration of the President Day as work-free day in 1991 was opposed by many. Some argued it would bring about the ban of the holiday formulated for the dedication of cultural events. And as a result of the chaos, the anniversary of the poet's birth on December 3rd became famously celebrated as an optional holiday. Today, both days are almost equally celebrated with no opposition between the two. However, only President Day in February is officially observed as national holiday. As the day celebrated the Slovenian culture established to boost cultural awareness, the eve of the holiday, which is February 7th, uncovers President Awards and the President Fund Awards, the highest Slovenian recognition for cultural achievements being granted. Although starting in Slovenia, the holiday spread throughout the world in several Slovenia communities. Today is also commemorated as Propose Day, which is usually the second day of Valentine's week and a day before Rose Day. Although Valentine's is observed all around the world, it is a day to pop question to better half and show them your unconditional love, though this is Western culture, not much celebrated in various cultures. Rose is considered as the flower of love, so Valentine's week kicks off with Rose Day on February 7th, the day after given rose has helped you to express your feelings. Propose Day comes next on February 8th. Though there is a lot of controversy around, this Valentine's Day, which is much celebrated, but there is no need for expressing a specific day for love. Every day we can love our loved ones, and every day we can propose and start a new day. So proposing to someone you truly love might seems like a difficult task at first, then though it is very simple and easy, as long as you are honest. So marriage proposals can prove to be the hardest, but they are special in some cases. They happen only once in a lifetime. Of course, nowadays marriage are broken also many times, and they are getting married many times because the sanctity of marriage is seen more as a contract, as in the Western world. It is not seen as sacred bond, that's why many marriages are breaking up, and divorce is a common thing. So that happens many times. So that sanctity is no more, especially those who treat marriage as a contract rather as a sacred ceremony or sacred bond. So proposing to your partner with the right technique can undoubtedly win his or her heart. Instead, some couples have used the candlelight proposal, beach proposal, unboxing proposal, or even a simple proposal, or many other unique styles. So it may not be always materialistic. So whether you choose traditional or creative techniques, the only thing that matters is that you propose to your love interest. So it does not have to be an extravagant. You can also keep it as simple as the words like I love you or I like you also. So today is also commemorated as Royal Hobart Regatta in Australia, which is celebrated for 3 days over the weekend for the second Monday in February every year. It takes place from February 8th to 10th. This year, it is one of the oldest, most prestigious events in Tasmania. The first regatta was held in 1838 to celebrate the founding of the AISL. And since the AISL has attracted tons of thousands of visitors over the second weekend of February, the regatta mesmerizes visitors with exciting competitions in and out of water, as well as with stunning aerial and aquatic exhibitions. For 3 days in a row, tourists soak up energy of the activities in Queen's Domain, along with River Derwent. So it was in December 1st, 1838, that Tasmania organized the first Hobart Town anniversary to celebrate the anniversary of European discovering the island in the 17th century. It was Dutch that explorer Abel Tasman who had first sighted the island on November 24th, 1642. Since then, the annual anniversary regatta is celebrated by wearing a spring of silver wattle, blossom tied with a British Navy blue ribbon. The Monday following the weekend of the regatta is also observed as a public day and is now oldest continuing public holiday in Australia. Today is also commemorated as Scout Sabbath in US. is observed nearest Saturday before or after Scout Day in February every year. Scout Sabbath, more commonly written as Scout Shabbat, takes place from February 8th for full day. Scout Shabbat always starts at sundown on the Friday evening and continues into Saturday. So observing Scout Shabbat serves multiple purposes. Scout Shabbat is organized around Scout Day, which celebrates the founding of the Scouts in United States. It is an opportunity for the Jewish Scouts to represent their religious pride among the Scouts. In addition, it provides an opportunity for Scouts and rabbis to discuss the benefits of Scouting. So with this, we shall end today's commemorations. Thank you everyone for joining up. Before leaving, we request everyone to quickly fill up the feedback form that has been raised in the form of votes. So on this 10th of February, we are celebrating World Pulses Day. So on this day, we have a session by a resource person who is promoting veganism and also will be guiding on different recipes and cuisines involving pulses and also generating livelihoods from vegan diet and vegan recipes. So we request everyone to be part of this session on February 10th. And also, we are also going to share with you all a quiz on pulses where you can submit your quiz forms, and those who are submitting the quiz before tenth morning. So they will be given certificates in the session after session, and others can also continue to download from the website. So if you want to get certificate in the session virtually, you can join the session, and before that, ensure that you are submitting your quiz answers so that your certificate is generated. So see you all tomorrow. Take care. Good night.